Good day, students. As we progress to our lesson from the quarter 1 math 9, we are in the lesson number 7. The title would be equation that become quadratic. So, in this lesson, you will be able to solve equations transformable to quadratic equations. Ibig sabihin, may mga equation dito na hindi quadratic equation. Ang gagawin natin, itatransform natin to into quadratic equation. So, that includes rational, or fraction, or decimal, or algebraic equations. Also, we have to solve problems involving quadratic equation and rational algebraic equation. So, without further ado, allow me to have this particular scenario. The question is quadratic equation always in standard form? The answer would be, a quadratic equation is not always in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. In fact, there are times when we have to form an equation just to see whether it is in fact a quadratic equation. So just like this one, I'm going to show you this. For example, I have this particular given equation. It may not at first appear to be a quadratic equation. However, clearing away fractions and transforming the resulting equation gives us this particular equation. So, ngayon, kaya na natin itong ma-recognize, right? So, kaya na natin itong ma-solve. Pero, paano kapag ganito yung given? So, anong gagawin natin? There are partial list of the things that we can do. Actually, there are many properties or actions that we can create or do here, including the following scenarios. Allow me to share this to you. The first one is, these are going to be your guide to transform it. The first one would be clearing of fractions by multiplying all terms by the LCD. Okay, so basically, we just want to remove the denominator here. Okay, so that is the first thing that we need to do. The next one is remove all the parentheses and other grouping symbols. Basically, lahat ng parentheses, lahat ng bracket or braces, you have to remove it. Okay, by simplifying the numbers inside it. Okay, also, number 3 is we have to remove the radical signs by squaring both members of the equation. I have here this picture. Okay, like the apple, the green apple, naka-square yung green apple. For us to remove the square root or radical sign, we will have a square for that radical sign and to make it a green apple only. Okay, so just to put an idea kung paano ito gagawin. Okay, so because this will cancel out. Also, collecting like terms. If there is a like term, like variables, like coefficients, like constants, and like degree, we can add them together. So do not forget to add them or to simplify them rather. Okay, these are the 4 types or 4 guides to transform a given equation. So let's proceed to this particular given example. Okay, so we want to express the quadratic equation in standard form, and we want to write the equation within a positive coefficient. Okay, dapat positive ang coefficient niya for the second degree term or the first term. So bawal ang negative term. Then solve. Okay, so let's begin our discussion here. First is to get away this particular fraction. For us to do that, no, you can get the LCD or you can slide this one up. So slide lang natin tong x. We have here, we just multiply x, not just to the other side, to the left side, but also doon sa right side. Okay, when we do that, we can now easily simplify this one. We can multiply x by this particular term, x times, or we can just remove this one. Okay, because the remaining would be 10. Okay, if ganyan, because x times 10 is 10x divided by x is 10. Okay, we can just remove this x. Also, we want to multiply it dito sa 1. X times 1 or positive 1 is positive 1x or x. Okay, and then we have equal here. X times 3x, that is going to be 3x squared. Okay, so we have this particular simplification. The next thing is we want to arrange it to our standard form. We all know the standard form already. So basically, since nandito naman yung second degree term, I will just transfer this particular term sa kabila, sa right side muna, okay? Or just subtract x and then minus x both sides, okay? You can do that as well, okay? And you can cancel this one, you have 0, or para mas madali nating makita, no, we just transfer this one. Okay, the left hand side, we have 0. Okay, this one, mapupunta yan dito. Yung 10, it will become, siguro ang sunod natin is x. We have minus x. Also 10 minus 10. Okay? Then, the sign here will change, right? So, pwede natin itong iswap, no? Pwede natin pagpalitin to. Mapupunta to dito. Itong 0 mapupunta sa kabila. Okay? So, we have 3x squared minus x minus 10 equals 0. Then, we can finally say it na ito ay naka-standard form na. Okay? So, the next is we have to solve, no? So, the thing is, we can solve it by factoring if you want to. You can solve this one by factoring. This time, I don't want to solve it para mas mabilis. Using factoring or quadratic formula, the factors are 3x plus 5 times x minus 2 equals 0. Okay? So ito, minove ko na, no? You can factor this one using a quadratic formula, using factoring or completing the square, whatever method that you have. Okay? So here we have this particular property, the zero product property or principle of zero products. We have 3x plus 5 equals 0. The other hand, we have x minus 2 equals 0. Okay? Then we finally subtract 5 both sides to basically eliminate this one and isolate 3x. Okay? 0 minus 5, that is negative 5. Then we divide both sides by 3. We cancel this out. X will be the remaining, equals negative 5 over 3. Okay, the next one, the other hand, we have positive plus 2 both sides because we want to basically eliminate this one. The remaining will be x equals 0 plus 2, that is positive 2. Then we finally find the two solutions, which are negative 5 over 3 and x equals 2. Go ahead and check it. If you want to check it, just plug in the values of x here. And if the result is 0, then you are in the right place. Okay, so next would be like this. Okay, what about this one? How will you transform this into a quadratic standard form? Okay, the first one would be like this. Okay, you have to multiply 7 times x squared. May tinatawag na property dyan. Ang tawag na property is distributive axiom or property. So 7 times x squared, that is 7x squared. 7 times negative 9, that should be 63 or negative 63. Also on the right hand side, we have x times x. We have given x squared. Also, by multiplying x times negative 3, that should be negative 3x. Okay, we can see now the square term. Now, we want to combine like terms. No, collect the like terms. We just want to transfer this out. This particular term, ito lilipatan sa kabila. This one lilipatan sa kabila. Okay, or you can just subtract x squared and then add 3x to basically make it 0. Okay, so it will become 7x squared. Pagtabihin ko na to, no? Yung positive dito magiging negative sa kabila, x squared. Then this one magiging negative dito, magiging positive dun sa right hand side, plus 3x. And then negative 63 will just remain. And that should be equal to 0. Okay? I hope you get it. Now, we can basically simplify this one because they are like terms. No? Since they have the same degree, 7 minus 1. Okay, 7 minus 1, that is going to be 6x squared. Okay, there is a 1 here. Also, we have positive 3x. Wala tayong ginawa dyan. Bababa lang natin yan. And negative 63, the same would be apply here. Okay, so now are we in the standard form already? Yes, it is, no? Now, the thing is we need to solve. Now, I would suggest if you could use quadratic formula in answering this particular given. If you apply already the quadratic formula, of course, let's have a factored form na lang muna. We have 6x plus 21, x minus 3 equals 0. Please bear with me, hindi ko na siya pinactor para mas mabilis. Okay? Then, split up the two particular term by the 0 property. Okay? We have x minus 3 equals 0. And then we have 6x equals negative 21. Also, we can divide it by both sides by 6. Okay, we have x equals negative 21 divided by 6. I think we can simplify it by dividing by 3. Now, negative 21 divided by 3, that should give us 7, right? Also, 6 divided by 3, that is 2. So, the simplest form would be negative 7 over 2. Para magkamalan yung 1 yan. Negative 7 over 2. Again, kung nagtaka kayo kung bakit negative 7, we just get the lowest term of the negative 21 divided over 6. And that is negative 7 over 2. Okay? Also, we have this one, x, which give us, this one would become positive 3. Okay? And that's it. We finally found the two roots, the root 1 and the root 2. Okay? So, next for the third example would be like this. Okay? Actually, you can revisit, you can review the video if you want to, anytime, anywhere. So we have this one, 4 over x plus 4 over x plus 6 equals 1. The thing is, we want to multiply this particular denominators to what? Okay, to this particular denominator. So we have here the LCM or the LCD, whatever you call this one. We have this particular thing. And we want to slide these two things here. Okay, so we have also on the right hand side. So we have x, lumagpas na, times x plus 6. Okay? Also, we have x times x plus 6. There you go. Okay? Now, we have this particular equation and we want to basically remove the denominator here. First, ito muna. Okay? If we have this one, we multiply natin dito. Ang gagawin mo lang dyan, tatakpan mo lang yung x na to. Okay? And then we multiply x plus 6 times 4. Okay? So it will have, or it will give us 4 times x plus 6. Take note, tinanggal ko lang tong x kasi automatic, makakancel talaga yan when you simplify this one. Okay? Next is, we have this plus symbol and we want to simplify once again or multiply this particular particular term to this particular term. Okay? Multiplying it, which gives us, we can cancel this one. Ang matitira lang sino? Si x and si 4. X times 4, that is 4x. So I will write here 4x. Again, tinanggal mo lang to, tinanggal mo lang to. Ang natira si x and 4. You multiply it, 4x ang sagot. Next is, sa kabilang banda, we have this x times x plus 6, multiply it by 1, which gives us the same. Okay, so we have x times x plus 6. Okay, now, we can easily simplify this one by the distributive property 4 times x, that is going to be 4x, right? 4 times 6 will give us 24, right? And also we have this particular 4x. We can do nothing here. Wala tayong ginawa dyan. Also sa right hand side, x times x, we have x squared. Also, x times 6 would be positive 6x. Okay? It's just like a puzzle, no? When we combine the like terms here together, we have this particular things. Okay? Actually, we can easily combine 4x and 4x because they are the same. They have the same term. So we have 4x plus 4x, that should give us 8x. Plus 24, we can do nothing sa 24. We can just bring it down. Equals yung x squared, baba lang muna natin dito. 6x, baba lang muna natin dito. Now, we can perform or we can make it a standard form. Let us continue our solution here. So, of course, since nandito yung second degree term natin, ang ililipat natin sa kabila ay si 8x, okay? Si 8x and si 24x. By transferring them to the other side, we have x squared. Okay, we have 0 equals x squared, this one, plus 6x minus, ito ay positive, magiging minus 8x. Ito ay positive din, magiging negative 24. Okay, then we simplify them. We have x squared here, 6x minus 8x, that should give us 2x. Also, we have 24 here. Okay, equals 0. And we can swap them, no? Dito si 0 sa right hand side, dito naman yung equation natin sa left hand side. Equals 0. Then we could have our standard form. Okay, we accomplished the standard form. Dito pala tayo mag-solve ng ating mga x. And finally, when we factor this out, this will give us x times x, or x minus 6, and also x plus 4 equals 0. This is the factored form. And also, once we factor it, we give x minus 6 equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0. In-split lang natin. And the final answer would be x equals 6. That is our root 1. The root 2 would be x equals negative 4. Okay, so that's how we find the solution in this particular given given equation. Okay, so let's level up. No, I'm sure you are absorbing too much, no, from the first 3 examples, and let's absorb another thing. So we have this particular square root sign, and we have y squared plus 5y plus 3 equals 3y. Okay, tawanan na lang natin to. Sige, tawanan na lang natin. So we have this one. Kanina, no, binigyan ko kayo na analogy like this one. How do you remove the square root sign, no? We just squared. We just get the squared, no, to make it an apple. So gawin natin siya dito. Okay? How do you remove this square root sign? Okay, the thing is, para ma-remove natin yan, we will square it both sides. Bakit both sides? Because there is an equality here. Ginawa mo sa kabila, gagawin mo rin dapat sa kabila. When we do that, we can cancel this particular radical symbol and this squared. Okay? Ipapaliwanag ko yan sa quarter 2 kasi there is something new here. Okay? Basta, for the meantime, gamitin muna natin tong analogy na to make it an apple. So now, our apple here is y squared plus 5y, okay, plus 3. Okay, that is our apple. Equals 3 squared or 3y squared. No, paano siya? No, from our loss of exponent nung grade 7 kayo, no? Tinuro na yan, no? We have 3 squared y squared. Okay, just basically square the 3 and square the 2. Sige, let's simplify. We have y squared plus 5y plus 3. 3 squared, that is going to be 9. Y squared will remain. Okay? Then we combine like terms. Okay? When we make it a standard form, yung 9y squared, ililipat natin sa kabila. So when we transfer 9y squared to the other side, we have y squared minus 9y squared plus 5y plus 3. You notice, no, pinagtatabi ko na sila agad. No, yung mga parehas na degree, pinagtatabi ko na para mabilis lang natin ma-simplify. And then when we simplify this particular given, y squared minus 9y squared, that would give us negative 8y squared. Okay? Plus 5y plus 3 equals 0. Okay, so you notice this one. There is something wrong here. The first term is, or the first coefficient is negative. Anong pwede mong gawin dyan? Okay, para maging positive yan. Some would say, pwede mong ilipat sa kabila. Pwede rin. Pero, pwede mong gawin to. Sige, I will just rewrite negative 8y squared plus 5y plus 3 equals 0. Kapag ganyan na na-encounter ninyo, ang ginagawa lang dyan, we can divide it by negative 1. Okay? So, by dividing it by negative 1, it will make us negative 8 divided by negative 1. That is going to be 8y squared. Okay? Positive na. No? Next is positive 5y divided by negative 1. That would give us negative 5y. Nagbago yung sign. Also, 3 divided by negative 1, that is negative 3. And that is equal to 0. Okay? Because 0 divided by negative 1, that is 0. Now, take time to factor this out. And when you factor it, basically, lumabas lang dyan is 8y plus 3 times y minus 1 equals 0. Okay? This is the factored form of this particular given. And when we solve for y, okay, so we have 8y plus 3 equals 0, y minus 1 equals 0. It will produce 8y equals negative 3. Dividing both sides by 8, okay, gives us, okay, extend ko lang dito y equals, palitin lang natin. Okay, para mas madali natin makita. Okay, that would give us y equals negative 3 over 8. Okay, that is our first root. The second root would be, we add 1 both sides, and will give us y equals positive 1. Okay, so, and this is going to be the second root. So therefore, the two roots are negative 3 over 8 and positive 1. And finally, this is, I believe, one of the most challenging topic for the quadratic equation, but there's more. The thing is, we can easily transform it by standard form using this particular method that we did here. Okay, now take note for this pattern, this process, practice this process by answering this particular expression or equation and transform it to standard form of quadratic equation. Then solve whatever method that you want to apply. So, this concludes our session for today. See you sa ating classroom.